So what is my job there? Just to mute everyone and...
Yeah, just make sure that people is not unmute and they don't okay.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's good. Thank you.
I think it's good now.
Will these statues are yours if they're done? Not all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's not yours. That's not mine. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, those are on the shrine.
Yes, you're welcome.
Bonjour, madame. Bonjour, monsieur. Ça va? Ça va bon? Yeah. Oh, Ghost. He's been, where is it? You from Draper? Not Draper, you're further out. Where do you live? What's that place?
Sandy.
In San, oh, I thought you were further out than that. Wow. I've been out that far too.
Wilderness of Sandy.
Oh, yeah, that's not far enough. Good morning, those who are in cyberspace. Good morning to those who are in illusionary space. And to Master Min and all the others at Jimpa and Unbeknown who have made this technology available. Again, we can see as a result of things in virtual reality. Are we not always in virtual reality? Dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. I'm really talking to myself, so pardon my babble. But anyway, if we're going to dream, as I told my other students, if we're going to dream, make it a good one. Why make it a nightmare? But we're so sometimes afraid to dream. I asked my students, what's your dream? And they said, how do you dream? And I'm like, how do you dream? You forgot you were 3 and 5 years old? When you asked a 5-year-old, I don't know now. It's strange when you see a 2-year-old with an iPad or an iPhone, and their imagination is being usurped already by other images other than the images within their own mind. You want to just go take it away. You don't need that. You have your own iPad. Dream. So what is your dream? I saw that. You did not escape me, kind sir. Poof. What is my dream? Renew it. Oh, you gave me the segue. Pardon, monsieur, madame. Being that we grew up in a culture where today is about the dreams that must arise. You know where I'm going. I must go to Alabama for a little bit, sitting in the pews on those oak-stained benches. So hard. You just stop squirming, boy. Well, it's hard. But you don't say that, you just be still. But the phrase, he has arisen. Who has arisen? Oh, and then they went on. And we all know the story that goes with Easter. But I'm looking at, and if you could just give me a few moments to try to organize some thoughts, perhaps, metaphor me, the correlation between what has arisen and dreaming, and that maybe asking ourselves, what is my dream now? What am I dreaming? And I do ask myself that question, and renewing, so I use that word, to renew the dream. So the image this morning, I must ask, did you look into the sky this morning? Did you? And you saw the clouds this morning? What else did you see? Nothing.
Birds.
You heard the birds. Yeah, I heard the birds. What else did you see, Master Z?
Mountain.
And snow.
What did you see?
Snow
You saw the snow.
coming down still.
Yeah. Lama, what else did you see? Yeah, what did you see, Lama? She cannot hear me, maybe.
I have to unmute. I see yellow finches, lots of them.
Mm-hmm. Lama, what did you see when you looked into the sky this morning? It's a little bit of a trick question.
Light.
What?
Light.
You saw the light. What else did you see?
Openness.
Open spatiality and the blueness, which is an illusion itself. You saw the sky. Nobody said, I saw this. Oh, remember I told you, you see the clouds. What is the dimension beyond the clouds? space and light. But then again, who is seeing the space and light? Rinpoche, Tulku Rinpoche, see that there is nothing to see. The seer, what is seen and seeing is nothing but emptiness. Rest. In that moment, rest. And seeing that there's nothing to see, and the sky and the light is nothing but an illusion to remind me of the inner aspect and the clouds of my thoughts passing by and forth. And the birds is the sweet sound of the Dharma being revealed from within. So yeah, I hope you took the time to do that today. And if you haven't, then I know you will. I mean, so many analogies that are there going back to what has arisen. And we have so many in our spiritual traditions, whatever they may be, of parallels and how we can engage in what we'll call metaforming. And as I was again driving Guru Mantra, Law 7-Line Prayer, this is my practice in the car. And so I have to, from Ogden until I-15, I have to do 7-Line Prayer. Once I'm on I-15, then I do the Guru Mantra until I arrive wherever I have to be, which most of the time is the university. But the parable and the story, Jesus Christ is crucified. And I maybe before the Buddhism and even say it now, to paraphrase, why has my father forsaken me? But he didn't. Maybe you've said in some of your despair, why have I not been blessed? Which we all have been, if you're still here. It's a blessing. My neighbor yesterday told me this, he's 88. And I looked at him and I went, oh, I'm getting close. But again, we had wonderful conversation as he invited me to come to his gathering for Easter. And I said, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I have other responsibilities that I must attend to. They'll be looking at me funny if I don't show up. So here I am, but thinking about that conversation, we talked about the crucifixion of the enlightened one. But so was the Buddha. The Buddha comes into the world, but already enlightened, but must go through and goes through the mundane existence of the human realm. He's educated, wealth, fine food, fine clothes, and wife, and a child, but he's not satisfied. And we could say, and many other prophets, Jesus Christ being one, lived the life of an ordinary person, but already is a divine individual that must go through the hardships until he's, it says he dedicates himself, in our language, he dedicates himself for the liberation of all sentient beings who are suffering, if they would only believe or have faith and devotion and trust. Well, who else said that? I think Guru Rinpoche, you said that, didn't you? You did, okay. So, and I thought, again, as I jump around, just some images, being in a darkened cave with a heavy stone, and then the stone rolls away and a body of light appears. And it's reported, I have seen, he has arisen, is the phrase. But in what aspect? Sambhogakaya. There is Sambhogakaya, right? Body of light. But then I thought, what is the deeper elevated message that we could draw from, in our tradition, from that? From our own darkness, I said, I must roll away the stone of ignorance and anger, ignorance and desire and anger and pride and greed and arrogance and prejudice and stupidity and lust. I must roll away that stone. And if we roll away that stone, because where there's darkness, you cannot say darkness if there is not light. So I must come from my own darkness of those afflictions, and therefore come into the light. But The rub is, as all of the great prophets and stories tell us, the light that we're coming into has always been within. Well, we can go back to another concept, at least from my childhood, that I thought I heard. Where is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven lies within. At least that's what I heard on a given day. And I thought, can I ask the question? Put your hand down, boy. But you said the kingdom of heaven lies within. If the kingdom of heaven lies within, who sits in the seat of the kingdom of heaven? Well, God. They asked me to keep quiet. And if God is in the kingdom of heaven within, then God is within me. Is that right? Blasphemy. Who are you to think that? But that's what it says. And then what did Jesus Christ say that relates to this Easter? I am the light and the way. Follow in me, and you will know my Father. Well, who's your Father? Well, your Father is God. And where is he? He is in the kingdom of heaven. And where's the kingdom of heaven? It lies within. I got it. Doesn't that make sense? Well, who said that also? Buddha discovered that the enlightened mind lies within. I cannot give you enlightenment. No teacher can give you anything. There's no pill, there's no magic, there's no mantra, nothing. We're all chasing after and kowtowing and thinking we're going to get something. And the teacher's going, look in the mirror and you shall see. Well, Jesus Christ said the same thing. Look within and you shall see. So then I also remember the pastor saying, in my father's mansion, there are many rooms. Enter but one, and you shall sit by his side. Now, I'm probably paraphrasing what I thought I heard, and please forgive me, everyone who may hear this at some later date, but I'm only recalling what a child heard. Enter into one of the rooms in that mansion, and you shall sit by my father's side. Well, where's your father? Then that takes me back once again. Your Father is in the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven lies within. So enter into the mansions of one of the rooms that lies within, and I will sit by the God that is within. Oh, that's how I will be saved. Well, isn't that what Rinpoche says? Isn't that what Buddha says? Look within and you shall see. You're already the body of light, and the enlightened quality, the realized mind, is already at hand. Bonka Rinpoche, Buddha in the palm of your hand. But we're so busy, like Doko Rinpoche, chasing our tail like a dog, we cannot see. In fact, sometimes we're brothers talking to my neighbor, we would prefer to chase about, because then we don't really have to take responsibility. Kick the crutch from underneath us and walk on your own. Well, who did that? Well, how many stories we have of the Christ and Guru Rinpoche and the Zoroastrian and all of the great taking the crutch and allowing us to walk on our own. But how can we walk on our own if we don't have a crutch? Realizing that we don't need a crutch because our ability to rise up lies within. Okay, then I will rise up. So I thought this day to ask you to dedicate your life. And who's going to show up today? Who's going to show up today? From this moment on, you dedicate your life to the practice of Dharma to bring about liberation, to arrive at the self-primordial spontaneous ground of the enlightened mind for the benefit of all sentient beings, whom are your mother. I moved one log today. There's those brown bugs with all the little feet that went out of them. They follow me from Nepal. Wow. And I call this my mother. And then there's the worms moving about. This is my mother. And the bugs, they crawl up and, oh, it's my mother. Oh my goodness. Gentle, gentle must push them away, please. And then sometimes I see them, they must be back in the room crawling around. It's my mother. So I'm asking you and myself, whether you do it or not, from this moment on, if nothing more, I will engage in the practice to be a kind human being, to be a peaceful human being. I cannot stop the war in Ukraine. I cannot stop the war in the suffering of the people of Russia. I cannot stop the war and the suffering of the people right here in this neighborhood. But I can stop my own selfishness. You can stop your own selfishness and not fool ourselves in practicing the Dharma and ringing the bell and beating the drum and mumbling with a smiling face and think we're following the Dharma because we're not. Put it all down like the great masters. Take everything away and sit like Dogen Zinzi. Sit and just be present and be kind and let loving kindness and compassion and joyousness arise. Oh, there's that version again. Arise. He has arisen. Have you arisen within the recognition of your own enlightened quality? Have you arisen in the nature of your own loving kindness and compassion? And not only have you done that, because that's not enough, you must share it. Have you shared it? Oh, I'm Buddhist. I'm Christian. Was talking to Bob. Imagine if everyone who professes to follow their religious traditions and absorb and arise in the light of that tradition, we'd have a different world, wouldn't we? And I don't mean to miss any disrespect, but watching the news, one of the most holiest places is it Jerusalem, the Wailing Wall, and the Great Mosque. Bombs, shooting, rioting, killing on and over the last couple of days. This is the darkness. This is the age of darkness, and the stones were firmly in place. But now everybody can see. Sometimes it's just makes you so sad. The darkness that we continually perpetrate and create in the light of that which we say is our spiritual essence. I'm talking to me too. I'm not some pious, I'm just a ruffian. Just got lucky to meet so many wonderful masters who tried to hold me by the scruff of the neck and say, straighten up. I try. I try my best. We tried together, me and you, Ian, okay? Because we're all just human. We have to appreciate being human. But that's what the message seems to be, as I've been trying to think driving in this morning. To rise up and to really say, oh, that person has arisen. Arisen in the light of what? Of their own compassion, their own loving kindness, their own joyousness, their own knowledge, their own wisdom, their own equanimity. As you go through the day, let's not fool ourselves. We think, oh, Buddhists, we never have any problems. Well, obviously, you haven't really looked at it. We're the worst. Bickering, conniving, power, who can get close to the teacher, and so forth and so on. We know all of the stories. So all we can do is myself, each and every one of us, and go, in my humble, fragility of being a human, I dedicate myself to being peaceful and being kind. And even when those who are unkind, I will still be kind. It doesn't mean that we go about making ourselves like a rug to be stepped on, as a metaphor. But at the same time, having a certain strength When a kid, I used to think and dream about what would it be like. I would take and put a nail and stick it in my hand. It's like, are you crazy? That's insane. I have watched every movie on on having to do with Easter and Ben-Hur and Barabbas, and on and on and on. And but then I always come to that part. Can you? And unfortunately, this is being done. They may not nail a spike into your hands or a spike into your feet, but there are places where they tie your hands and put a bullet in your head. We haven't come that far, have we? It's really sad, don't you think? The atrocities. How do you sleep at night? How do we sleep at night? But somehow we have to, because if those who see these type of behaviors from human beings, which is not as bad. I mean, at least we're not impaling people on stakes and cutting their heads off. Well, maybe not true. But you think, how is that? How is it now having way in New York City, in Paris, in Tokyo? I've ridden the subway and railed in so many places. You can't sit there and just go to sleep now anymore. But that's the world we live in. So the Bodhisattva, Jesus Christ was a great Bodhisattva, right? The Bodhisattva, wherever there is the fray of human suffering, we will go, because that's the vow you have made. I wonder, when things really get rough and difficult, do you run away? You put on your robes and again, bell and drum, make offerings and chant and sit in quietude. But are you really changing? I'm asking myself these questions. I would like to think, yes, that we all have evolved over this time period. And as Lama Kazi Rinpoche would say, don't all of a sudden try to be a hypocrite and pious actor. Let it happen over a period of time. And in time, if you practice, there will be changes. And going back to that statement, you will arise. Arise to the kingdom of heaven that lies within. The kingdom of heaven that lies within is the enlightened mind of the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. That you will come into the light of the Dhammakaya, the Sambhogakaya, the Namamakaya, and the three into one, manifesting like the emptiness of the spacious sky, will illuminate, and all shall see. Guru Rinpoche. So the amount of material it says that deal with the Dharma could fill greater than what we can imagine. So departure. So again, I'm looking and trying to find parallels. So we can see that instead of our narcissistic attachment to our differences, so we can be prejudiced and have hatred and dislike for others, we use, oh, I am better than you. My belief is stronger than yours, as opposed to seeing our differences as a bridge to bring us together. We use them as ways to separate. In the land of Zohar, when I read these stories and I go, I was in the land of Zohar. It's in India, middle India, northern India. So if you haven't read it, you can read. At the Vajra seat in Bodh Gaya, Guru Rinpoche displayed miracles, acknowledged he was a self-manifested Buddha. Well, that should immediately go, oh, that's about Easter. And then he went to the land of Zohar. Rinpoche and I, Rinpoche and I, and we were in Zohar. Although Padmasambhava was a fully enlightened Buddha, he appeared as a Namanakaya manifestation to tame and teach beings of this age. And so for their benefit, he acted as if receiving teachings, accomplishing the practice, and passing through the various stages of spiritual realization one by one. Well, I read the story of Jesus Christ in relationship to Easter, and I saw parallels. Some accounts tell how in Varasana, he was ordained by the Buddha's closest disciple, Ananda. Others say he took ordination from Parahatste in Zohar and was given the name Sakya Sangye, Lion of the Sakyas. Lion of the Sakyas, King of the Jews. He received the teachings of Yoga Tantra from him 18 times, and experienced pure vision of the deities. Then he received empowerments from the wisdom of the Kini Kunzongmo, also known as Khandro Laki Wangmo, who transformed him into a syllable home, swallowed him, and passed him through her body and out through her secret lotus, granting him outer, inner, and secret empowerments, and purifying the 3 obscurations from the 8 Vidyaharas of Dakin and Sekpa. He received the teachings on the 8 great sadhanas of Kagyu and from various other great masters. But there's this other part which I wanted to go through, which is not given me. Okay. The king of Zohar and his ministers, they arrested Guru Rinpoche in Mandavara. So I was able to make retreat in Mandavara's cave and burnt him alive. But he transformed the prior into a lake, and he was found sitting cool and fresh on a lotus blossom in its center. This lake is considered to be Reservoir Lake. So I have been to this place. It does exist, I can tell you for sure. In the present day of northern India. Overcome with remorse and in homage, the king offered Padmasambhava, or Guru Rinpoche, his entire kingdom, beginning with his garments and his 5 robes. In paintings and statues, Guru Rinpoche is portrayed wearing the clothing of the king of Zohar. So it goes on and on and on. You can read this, but knowing of the story, which you do too, is just that we can see in these various stories of spiritual masters and their traditions and how they affected humanity, that there's correlation. And if we can begin to find the correlation in our systems of chosen belief of our spiritual development and approach, that maybe, again, we can have greater respect. It doesn't matter. I think Lama, we have sat on the stage of the LDS in the old, what's the name of it? Oh. The tabernacle, thank you. So the tabernacle, we've done Korah around. So we said, oh, we are here. So Guru Rinpoche must have been here, right? Because we are here. Cause and effect, karma, you know. So, and here we are in Salt Lake City. And here we are in this space here. We actually we were given couches in the old space that was from one of the wards. And many other things where these correlations. So do not speak ill of other traditions. Be informed of other traditions. Those who know do not speak, and those who speak do not know. In the way of the Tao, there's only the flow. I was reading last night from the clan of the Blue Toad, Blue Toad clan. So on this, it's strange. Bob was saying, why is it only on Easter? We used to get nice clothes and dress up and go to the church on Sunday. And then on Monday, we're right back at it again. I don't like you, don't look at me. And could you believe the hat she wore the other day and those shoes she had on? And it's like, wait a minute. Yesterday they were smiling and so nice, and today they're degrading each other. That doesn't make sense. Make every day arisen. Arise every day. Arise up every day. Be a light every day. come out of the darkness. Roll away the stone of ignorance and desire and hatred and prejudice and so forth. You know these things. How to do that? How to remember every day. You want to be bodhisattva, at least at the first level. Dedicate your mind. Every day you practice. Every day Buddha. Every day Guru Rinpoche. Not fanatical. It's just part of who we are. I'm talking to myself, so I'm just trying to not read from some text. I'm just telling you and share with you. I can tell you now, decades of experience, how trying to really embody this and going from just a ruffian, which I still am, and trying to evolve, trying to rise up and say nothing more. As I told my students, you should not go to the university and not say, I met one crazy professor. You wasted your money. You didn't want to meet one crazy professor. I strive to be that crazy professor. In the same way, I don't think every teacher I have had has spoken and taught directly from their experience. They have sat in the cave. They have sat on the side of the hills. They have sat in small rooms. They've had very little to eat. They're so kind, and you have met them. So we try to emulate those teachers, which takes us back to the closing statement is, follow in my steps. I'll paraphrase. Follow in my steps and bask in my light. Believe in me and you shall be saved. Well, Buddha could have said that. Guru Rinpoche said that. Muhammad in the Torah, not the Torah, Quran. But in the Torah, you don't know Torah. In the Torah, this ancient text before the New Testament, we hear the same thing. Zoroastrian, same thing. So why is it that we don't get the message and still need to shoot and kill and hate and cheat and lie and connive and only think about ourselves? Me. Even Bob said this. He said the same thing His Holiness said. Someone asked His Holiness, in this generation, people, especially like you, all of you young people, why are you so disturbed? Why do you have so much anxiety? Myself included. He says, because me. You only think about yourself. You see, you go through the day. I don't like, I want, I don't care, I need. How can we shift it away from self-cherishing, ego-centeredness? It must be twofold, that which benefits self and that which benefits others. Then switch it around, that which benefits others first, and then that which benefits self. Then one more switch, that which benefits others. Am I being of benefit to others? And if you're being of benefit to others, then you will be a benefit to yourself. I think probably too much babbling, hopefully just wanted to honor. I was coming here and long lines of cars, blinking lights. Now, either they were going to the funeral or they were going to the church. I don't know which. But I thought, a long line of cars on Sunday on Easter, I will see if there's a long line of cars next Sunday going to the church. Today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, and maybe more, I don't know. Next Sunday, will it be the same? And the Sunday after that? But what about 20 years from now? When you look up in the clouds, I'll be looking at you. And you'll see nothing. I'm so sorry. It's just a funny image. Wisdom eye of space and light. So when you look into the sky, oh, he is looking at us. But this is what Rinpoche says. Guru Rinpoche, always looking at us. This very special, this particular print was given to me by Rinpoche. And this particular print says, looks like me. And anyone who sees that print of Guru Rinpoche will be blessed. I hope it is like that, as it was in your last life, and this life, and all your lives to come. So please, enough. Take a breath in, breathe out, and from within, rise up and let go. And from that place of inner calm and clear, remember, to recognize the innate calm and the unity of clarity, the emptiness of calm and the emptiness of clarity conjoined together. The breaking or the cracking of the shell of ignorance and pulling out the stake of clinging. What is recognized in this moment is the unity of the natural state, self-existing and spontaneously present. Leave it alone. When you look into the sky and you saw the blueness and you mention all of those things, just let them go by. The illusion of what you saw, emptiness, the illusion of emptiness of the seer, of the seeing, and the illusion of the emptiness of the subject that saw. 3 parts into one. Rest. And at the time of our departure, may you recognize the light. And when the light appears, have no fear. Leap into it like a small child and keep it near. Discard this shell. It's like molting from a skin that is no longer needed. And the next one is already within. So the old masters say, beyond life, beyond death, do not cling. Having no fear of the death, we can engage in living the life, but we fear death, and therefore we don't live the life. From this moment on, live not in falsity. Do not engage in hypocrisy, but rise in your own radiancy and be of benefit to all sentient beings. And from that space, Guru Rinpoche arises. He has arisen. I mean no disrespect to any tradition, because we all, if you live in this society, you grew up with those images. It's just I'm merely superimposing onto what I have chosen for me. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Namo Nama Lagab Zujo, Sangha Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Nama Lagab Zujo, Sangha Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo. Nama Lagab Zujo, Sangha Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Nama Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo. Do Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Nama Lagab Zujo, Sangha Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Lagab Zujo, Nama Lagab Zujo, Sangha Lagab Zujo. And so really you have the feeling you have taken refuge. When something impacts you at a negative, then you think, oh, don't worry, refuge. And when something happens that is quite pleasant, which is the most insidious, because then we forget everything, then you think, oh, this is so wonderful. This is through the blessings of the Guru. So good, bad, or indifferent, we think this blessing. Then as I was, again, as we continue to practice everything I was trying to say in my jumbled way, sentient beings or numberless, I vow to liberate them. Really? So I was reading Kumonka, and he was saying, of all of the mothers that you have had throughout the totality of your existence, not just this life, or beyond measure, greater than all of the sands upon the seas. You can't even remember. And all of the times that we have been born in the various realms of samsara, again, of greater than all of the drops of water and all of the oceans, immeasurable. And how could you not liberate one of your mothers? If you saw your mother, if you saw your mother being sucked into a whirlpool in the great ocean, and you were standing on the shore, but you had no arms and no legs, and you'd want to go and save them, but you couldn't, what would you feel? He says, you should think like this. So again, these 4 vows really mean them. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are infinite. I vow to liberate them. Our delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. So again, take the heart of what you say and then engage in doing it, but not to the point, oh, I must just let it happen. Oh, you'll see, oh, sentient beings are numberless. So this morning coming in, driving in, the roads are blocked off. Okay, should I not go? Should I go? But okay, there's through traffic. Okay, can go. Then coming. And then just as, I didn't want to be late. So just as I'm coming in, there's an elderly man with his belongings and he's going so slow. Okay, do you go? No. Hi. And just, because I go, oh, this is my mother. This is my father. That's me. Just be patient. So he is my teacher. He was my teacher this morning, right? So now think about your endeavors. Think about what you're about to do, what you want to do. May the bodhisattvas come and surround with a garment of blessings, and everything you do will come so easily and it will flourish, and many people will be brought to happiness and enlightenment because of you. the bodhisattvas will shine through you and make all flourish. I ask them, please do. Dashi Jojo Sanga Sambayi Sange Doda Gedon Babetu Unla Tato Tajo Tajijo Rome Garuba Zamden Dondrun Zambe Garuba Gedra Padamba Duna Tashi Tabajen Lubo Draba Zadar Patani Senje Tamje Namgo Nambe Bazit Bazara Drabate Zenze Dembe Tashi Pabe Wajewa Shiba Gela Chazalu Zamba Zundur Baden Doji Jenre Zanho Dumbo Jambe Ba Zayik Nebo Drimba Napasa Namka Nebo Bajut Fundo Kurba Dodi Arga Sudo Dubo Dawa Nede Namayi Chazen Manana Dashi Bajitu Janjo Zamba Yela Tazalu Rinje Dojo Dashi Jogi Dondo Tama Gamo Tamada Nida Dondo Bonzo Pariyu Nijo Tazen Undu Dodo De Dunjo Dodo Jegi Jaji Jodo Gawa Jegema Jeso Jenu Dembe Kabe Tashi Namu Yeva Chachalu Samba Tempo Denzo Sebebu Medo Dondan Tambo Zozo Magye Bondo Norwa Medu Nandu Zode Zode Guru Dozo Dondo Dondo Doji Chen Parhan Dendru Zete Zete Shen Sazo Jesu Dede Chashebe Zete Jowa Dura Sasalu Dado Zete Jowa Sange do da ge do la sange de bo ge ba da ba da ne ge zu ji zera me de be sombe de do da sange do ne ge de sombe de sange do je nanga namba da do wa je ne go ba je bo je ne go ne do wa de ge so wa so to na tam je ke le do Dejo Deje Tebe Songla Gomba Ganeba Jenjo Jimbo Dege Song Doba Dada Sambayi Sange Dona Gedona Janjo Nebo Jigeba Daba Dane Gazu Jizera Nze Nze Sombe Gondo And receiving the blessings, self and others, and white, red, blue, and yellow. And then in our heart space, we visualize the empty blue bindu and like an orb, dynamic. And right in the center of that is floating is a moon disk. And in the middle of the moon disk is the seed surubu radiant white, like a sun, radiating out loving kindness, compassion, joyousness, and equanimity for the benefit of others and self. And then as we breathe in, we draw in all of the impurities in the form of bluish black smoke into that heart. And then we breathe out, then the radiant light flows out for the benefit of others. Short practice Tonlen. one's intentions have manifested as you breathe out. And the essence and nature and the unity of the mind of the Buddhas is indivisible from one's own mind. Using that theme again, rise up and recognize, rest. As dim or as dim as it may be, recognize your own light, to be in your own light. But you cannot do that if you don't have the courage to rise up. The courage meaning to believe because you choose to do so, to have faith because you choose to do so, and to trust because you choose to do so. But it's not just frivolous wandering about. It's because you have done study, contemplation, and meditation. Recognize. Breathing out. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Om Urgyen Samten Gyaltsen Joji Guru Brahma June Sasura Guru Gando Mambu Urgyen Samten Jenje Laje Sasu Guru Brahma. Imao Jojo Jogi Gengi Zengam Su Juni Jojo Gaga Pepe Jojo Dojo Jewa Jingo Narga Jindu Doje Jure Lama Jogi Gula Suwade Borgen Pema Janela Suwade Tejen Durge Tumbe Zengam Su Kunjon Yondan Yondan Jene Yeje Gende Duwa Jibego Doji Jedra Nezo Zozor Lama Lozo Jogla Suwade Urgyen Bema Janela Suwade Mede Dende Dende Zangazu Doji Jumbo Jewe Tama Jan Gamba Gebe Nande Dondoze Deda Maja Dada Donzunge Lama Drube Gula Suwade Urgyen Bema Janela Suwade Ponjon Dozan Gera Zera Bema Gera Mino Zuzoga Suzu Ngabra Dundun Yadozo Yada Lama Nanga Suwade
Zene zenbe jodro zene dojo no be do ya nardo no ba do be do go to be no jela dreme ozo jela zo wa de zeje de do la dreme ozo rendo zo oza no de na ka no ba jeme lembe jela zo wa de do no Sange lembe lembe dunjo jembe lazovade orme jogi yenge boda duzo sange goje goge renzen gogo gozo danze ezoe name no zoade priro men jogi yogi boda duzo sange goje goge renzen gogo gozo danze Zoe la meja la zoade, gewa kundu yanda lamada, drome jogi bala dojo, sana bante wanjo metone, duji jinji gumando duzo, ze uma, to visualize the precious hollow body, the channels, the chakras, the nadis, auxiliary channels, the inner winds, the life force. Breathe in and release. Ome dharma hindu prava hindu tagata haya vata tagatsa yunoroa e raminima samana soha. Ze badra samaya za om richa ramani bhava daye soha. Ze badra samaya za om badra amrita kundale hana om pe. Then to invoke so Guru Rinpoche and entourage of the Buddhadharmas, Rinpoche. Ranje Nine Only Uzu Tube Lama Da Detsu Be Konjen Joger Gabo Donjon Dudjir Garga Dudu Nidzawa Mebe Lunandu Ginamga Panja Sama Sange Dona Joge Jonanda Juju Haju Dani Gatsuji Taji Joge Betona Jola Bete Sange Jovaju Sange Dona Joge Jonanda Badu Dadi Gazuji, Daji Jenzo Gebe Zonan, Jola Binze Sange Jobaju, Sange Dodan Zogi Zonan, Sanjo Badu Dadi Gazuji, Daji Jenzo Gebe Zonan, Jola Binze Sange Jobaju, Zao, Kamo, Zoji Naranda Temba Gu. Numbada Mahadri Haragara Dene Doji Torvadu Suze Ram Yam Ram Sarva Judo Sarva Nanava Durbe Zudo Tome Dende Dende Remba Jende Dende Dende Dorma Godo Dora Nombo Bozo Toba Daje Gozo Jembo Oh Bume Pate Sapavira Ramba Satsamaja Sada Na Pate De Banamata Namo Savada Tagata Image Mugube Savada Nagate Saparan Nakam Soha Namo Savada Tagata Image Mugube Savada Nagate Saparan Nakam Soha Namo Zavada Tagata Image Mugube Savada Nagate Saparan Nakam Soha Negana Nela Do Zombaja Mahasure Haragarno, then they took it forward. Sarva Zuto, Sarva, Ranma, Zurbe, Zuto, two made him they then they remember the lineage and get away on the tunnel, Saba Megan, no more Saba, that got the by Image Saba, Sakamute, Sapa, Randamiran, Guri Hama, Iram Balinda, by Saba Megan, no more Saba, that got the by Image Saba, Sakamute, Sapa, Guri Hana, Iram Balinda, by Saba Megan, no more Saba, that got the by Image Saba Tatunga Saparana, Iram Hama, Koreana, Inam Balinda, Baye, Badra Samaya Sa Badra Statu Samaya Nanobaya Nabuwa Tubogaya Nabuwa Anaraka Nabuwa Zawadi Siddham Siddham Guru Home Bhagavan Savada Badra Manana Zatu Badru Zatu Samaya Mano Badaya Badru Zatu Gaya Nabuwa Anaradu Nabuwa Zawadi Sada Dada Gada Badra Mane Mudavan Manu Badaya Badu Zaru Denova, Nova Zuru, Gaya Nova, Gaya Nova, Anaradu Nova Zawadi. Soragamazu Medun Zerum Guru, Bhagavan Zavada Gadu Varum Badu Zadu Samaya Manu Badaya Badu Zaru Denova, Nova Zuru, Gaya Nova. Anaradu Nova Zawadi, Mebrega Zaragamazu. Sada da da ga da varu mane muzo vende baba maha sama yo da do wadam ba do za do sama ya ma do ba da ya ba do za do ya ba de 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 do bo wa zo do ga ya ba bo wa zo do ga yo anara do ba bo wa zo wa zire me be ya do za do ga ma do za do ya do ha 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 ho ba go za wa da 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 benze ba wa ma ha sama yo da do wadam ba do za do sama ya ma do ba da ya ba do za do ya ba de 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 do me bo wa zo do ga ya ba bo wa zo do Anarado me bo wa zo wa zire me be ya do za do ga ma do Ziram Guru Om Ha Zada da Gada Vadramane Mudavende Bawa Ma Samaya Satu Ha. So you should now recognize all of samsara in the 3 times, all phenomena has been cleansed and purified, and you have pure vision. Give idea Dorje Semba Dorje Ne Dova Nunu Nando Badine Shima Pure So Senjen Jande Jowa Dan Jowa Gunda Dova Guji Tonya Dan Dove Gwanda Dova Guji Tonya Me Bedam Badam Badam Bedewa Guji Nire Dan Dewa Nene Sepen Mela Namba Guji Senjen Jande Jowa Dan Dova Gunda Dova Guji Tonya Dan Dove Gunda Dova Guji Tonya Me Bedam Badam Badam Bedewa Guji Nire Dan Dewa Nene Sepen Mela Namba Guji Senjen Jande Jowa Dan Dewa Gonda do Baguji, don't get down to get Gonda do Baguji, don't get Bebe Demba Demba, Bede Waguji, there were Sebe Mela, Nemba. The Tato, Mandan, Jovada, Deserin, Jovayi, Yawad, the Dajit, Java, Sanje Jova, Sanje Chico. Sashi, Dorje, Josa, Medo, Ruba, the Zambagi, Singers in the middle, don't have the Zinda Jovasho, it don't run under Sashi, Dorje, Josa, Medo, Ruba, and the Zambagi, Singers in the middle, don't have the Zinda. We don't run the Mandra and the time. Sashi, Dorje, Josa, Medo, Ruba, and the Zambagi, Singers in the middle, we don't run the Mandra Gandhi Taya. It's on Badru Samaya, Manovalaya, Badru Badru Denova, Dedu Sudogaya, Nova Sudogaya, Anarada Nova, Zovazere, Nebrea, Gada, Gada, Baruman in the Manzabaya, Badru Badru Samaya, Manova. Main practice. Urgyen Bema Gesa Nupula Zazen Joji Gudu Nebema June Sasura Gudu Nando Mambo Gege Zazu Darugi Chenje Laje Zazu Guru Bema Sikeo Urgyen Joji Nazan Bema Gesa Nupula Zazen Joji Gudu Nebema June Sasura Gudu Nando Mambo Gege Zazu Darugi Chenje Laje Zazu Guru Bema Sikeo Urgyen Joji Nazan Bema Gesa Nupula Zazen Joji Gudu Nebema June Sasura Gudu Nando Mambo Gege Zazu Darugi Chenje Laje Zazu Guru Bema Sikeo Umma Badra Guru Bedma Druzinsa Badra Samaya Sa Repeat. Re Roman Jogi Yogi Bodando, Dozo Zunge, Goji Go Wonge, Ranzen Go Go, Gozo Danze, Bazo, and Amesha Bazo Wade. Gilwagundu, Yondan Lamandan, Rome Jogi, Balado, Joden, Sadan Damji, Rundo Nezoni, Doji Genji, Govano, Zenamo Dandan, Daye, Zenjen, Jojon, Guru, Lamadan. Rinzen Gazo Gegula Nine Today.
Lama Sonam. Lama Sonam. Can you hear me? Sharab, can you hear me?
Yes, Lama, I can
Lama
hear you.
Sonam, can you hear me? Well, we continue on with the short sadhana.
Would you repeat that, Lama?
Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru. Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete, Uma Baja Guru Baba Sete. Zoma Badagara Mama Zeri So would it be possible to have 10-15 minutes, just a little bit over? I talked too much blah, 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 blah. But I will try to no more than that. So again, you should visualize you are still the deity as yourself, Guru Rinpoche, which is a tall order, isn't it? Right? So don't be attached to the aversion of it. And don't be attached to the pleasure of it. That's how it is. And as the deity, you summons the Dhammapalas because it's with them that the deity, they made an oath, right? Say, sweetie, Benza, Hera, God, really hung, do home, hey, didn't Dunja, Dunja, Dube, Doje, Dunja, Nije, Namge, Doge, Guru, Oma, Sri 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 Nama Danje Donje Tenjo Seba Monje Dona Jemedu Saran Monje Dowa Bajezo Pema Jona Nede Jowaga Tadun Gabo Soda Duwa Bezowa Dabzo Gajen Bajezo Jenje Naje Jemane Oh, Mama Renee Zawada Yegura, Bamado Yaduna Jana Anya City. Mama Renee Zawada Yegura, Bamado Yaduna Jana Anya City. Mama Renee Zawada Yegura, Bamado Yaduna Jana Anya City. So may you all have long life to fulfill your destiny and be of great benefit to all sentient beings. So Nuze Ram Yam Gam Yeah, ma gonzo zanje teje zanje ba de do we gume gapse do doje nunda newa do de sa ma guru ba ma era ga me gunzo da ba so ba de do je da ba je do ma re nu Zumba damba do samba luye do ba tenje do uma joje nanda gunge tenre nduru dhamma nene do ba so wa tu doje junje la jina zawe ba je do so dorye do me do Donge medo ne medo dobe la la so ba na zawe ba je do zonjo la la da Dusu Zange Guru Doje Guru Gunda de Wajoza Baje Gunda de Boza Zoba de Zoje Lado Zo Jinanda Wepa de Jewana Samalu Yejoba Tendelo Dusu Zange Guru Doje Guru Gunda de Wajamboza Baje Gunda de Boza Zoba de Zo So Jinanda Wepa de Jewana Samalu Yejoba Tendelo Dusu Zange Guru Doje Guru Ganda de Wajamboza Baje Gunda de Boza Zoba de Zo Jinanda Wepa de Jewana Samalu Yejoba Tendelo. Oh, very good. Just like Lama Kazi. Sorge Zumba Jenduru la la oh. In the 1970s, this is how we did soap. We were ahead of our time. So please enjoy soap. Please, you remain seated.
Keep collecting all of these.
Zunde bed you do, really could not do why he doesn't do what Mandoka. Couldn't do the true. So. Uma Karumatrum Salva Danato, Uma home. Hey, a long time. Uma Karumatrum Salva Danato, Uma home. Hey, so. Uma Karu Martum Savarana Totar Uma home. So Ze Uma Soha Uma Soha The home Gilgo Sembo Rengo number one so Jinaka Lama Dorma Deje Nazo Junje John Yujeta Balenta Kaye Padre Sata Samaya, Mano Palaya, Padre Sata Genova, the Tutu Nagova, the Tugaya Nagova, the Tugaya Nagova, Anarada Nagova, the Vazire Nevea, the With a very short version of this Namke. Already into your time. Namge dado daye zenjen dama be zenjo 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 de bama jodo zenje maluba zenjo jume zala joba. Then you are still the deity and you have three manifestations. Amida Buddha, or Amitabha Buddha, the Chenrezi Buddha, Guru Rinpoche, which you are the deity. So then we just go, O Mane Beme Hongre, 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 O Mane Beme Hongre. O Mane Beme Hongre, O Mane Beme Hongre, O Mane Beme Hongre. So when we say maybe it's like a joke, what would you do? Oh, I wish for world peace. No, I wish for inner peace. If all of those individuals who said they wish for inner peace, for world peace, then maybe we really would have peace, but we don't. So let's just work on starting from this day forward. Inner peace, every day. Vessels and messengers of peace. Every person that comes into your store, Mr. Sakya, may you bless them with peace. And every person who sees a statue or touches an object in there, in your store, may the seed of loving kindness and compassion and peace and harmony.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is your job. Your job.
Thank you.
Then, home. Rest. But again, Rinpoche Lama Urgyen His Holiness is, I think he said he's 88 now. May I be so fortunate. May you be so fortunate. 88, and he is still working for one single thing: peace within and peace without. To be a vessel and a light of loving kindness and compassion. May we emulate and join him in his work. Our teacher just came back from pilgrimage. He has difficulty getting around, but he has no difficulty getting around. He's an inspiration to me. He went to India, went to Bodh Gaya, went to all of the holy places. Now he is back. So we must honor our teacher. May his long life and activity increase. Om Sute Senge Mendenge Bugele Nidega Dodona Dambaye Trunle Meze Gyogo Gajode Doram Gajo Trunle Dogo. And then skip to Crowden and Megan said about Gilliam Yowadiki, Yowatam Dashu, Mando, Lendus and Gajo, Najo Bajo, Tembe Bagula Meshe, and this and give with it in the like a Tembe, Najo Bagi, Tumber ring the fit, so then the dead and dead, the road and bed, and the made, 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 Jindu, Jindu, Rinpoche, Mage, Banam, Jiruji, Kibana, Bane, Baye, Gone, Gondu, Batuzo, Kazo, Daye, Don We, Don Dojo, Go Yendo, Jojin, Bejo, Dojo, Nambale, Bale, Megan, Tambaram, Da, Tashi, Da, Taya Tonga de Gade, Gade, Taya Tamonga de Gade, Gade, some Gade, Bude so let go of what is past, let go of what may come, let go of what is happening now. Don't try to figure anything out, and don't try to make anything happen. The Lopez says, relax right now and just rest for a moment. And may from this day onward, may you rise in your light and be a vessel of kindness, a vessel of peace and harmony and joy for others to see. Even if we ourselves are besieged with troubles and the weight of the world sinks upon us, we still make a choice to be happy, to be joyful, and to be a light. Thank you all for being here today. May we continue. I'm envisioning every seat filled. More and more and more. We have this, how to make more people come. Not make, allow, invite. Better words. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful, have a beautiful, enlightened afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, every time of friend, everyone. Tashi Dele.
Tashi Dele.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So it's good to be home, huh?
Everyone.